seen some of you there. Thank you. And that will be fun. Okay, so we are now being sent, right?
Yeah, I think,
Well, who's coming in my room?
there we go.
Up,
Okay.
come on.
Okay,
And
well, here
then
we
Jimmy,
go.
I'm gonna hand the host back over to you,
All right.
which I
Yes,
think
I
we
see
can
that.
do.
And
Um,
there's a few more that still have their mics not muted.
Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna
Okay.
everybody be muted as soon as you
Okay.
start, and I also have control over that here too, so
Oh,
it's all good.
yay. I know because sometimes it interferes with a playback.
Exactly. So that's one of the things that's
Okay.
important to know. When
Up,
anything is playing
come on,
back or
come on,
when
come
Joanne's
on.
speaking, stay muted unless you're asked to say something or it's your turn to say something.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much it. So welcome to SongNet, everybody. My name is Jimmy. Our tech director here, Steve GC, is one of the cool guys that has been in this industry for quite a while as well, and he's my right hand guy here, doing all kinds of stuff. And he'll be running all the sound things and pretty much hosting everything else here. Let's see, Zinja. Hello, Zinja. Where are you logging in from? Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Where are you logging in from?
Where my right now my location?
Mhm.
Yes.
Uh, LA.
Okay,
Okay.
you're in LA.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, because we try to give priority to all the people that are in a different time zone. And so, because they're on the East Coast, it's already getting late. And we just had another late person log in. Um, I don't think Nancy Killel submitted anything, did she, Steve?
no, she didn't submit anything.
Okay, so she's here to listen. All you guys that are here to listen and learn, you will learn a lot of stuff and you're going to hear some great music. So, welcome again, and let's go ahead and get this thing started. Joanne, let's hear a little bit about your history and what you do, and then we'll fire it up.
All right. Well, first, thank you to SongNet. I've been with you guys for a long time. I don't know, somewhere between 15 and 20 years. And I wear many hats in the music industry. I manage bands. I put on festivals, like the big 3-day festivals, weekend festivals. I license music to film and TV. I have I wore a hat as a corporate audio program, which means I've sold songs to corporate branding, such as CDs that come free with your brand new Toyota, or selling Cheerios to Latinos on by shrink wrapping CDs, at least of CDs at the time, to Cheerios to sell to market. So I also have done a lot of outside of the box. I worked with a company that sold potato chips, and on the back of the bag was a band, and you can win concert tickets and this and that, and just all different ways. So I've branded music with food, with cars, with baby formula, lullabies, all that kind of stuff. So I have a strong background in licensing music, and then film and TV and motion picture, instrumental, cue music, and then full songs. And so I'm unable to do what I do without you guys as a songwriter and sharing your babies with me, your children, your songs, and allowing me to screen them for their possible potential for marketing licensing. I do have a couple sort of rules that I go by, or just things I like to say in the beginning before I start to screen your music. And I've written this, and it'll be in my next book as well. Play anything you want, write anything you want, sing any way you want. If your dog sings to it, if grandma likes it, if your neighbor likes it, do it. It's strictly an art form. Um, so when you're listening to my feedback, I'm not critiquing it as an art form. That's just not my role here. My role is I'm going to make the assumption that you want to earn income and generate money from your song if it suits you and if it fits the right placement, so it becomes a product. So I'm screening your songs for marketability, for production quality. I've done a lot of AAR work. You can just go to musicbizgal.com. You can read all my history of all the things I've done. I want to save a lot of time here tonight to actually hear your songs. And again, I want to thank everybody in the room for either just listening, learning about this SongNet Songwriters Association, and giving me the privilege to find good songs. I have placed a lot of people in with SongNet on film and TV multiple times. So, and I can't do it without you guys showing up, submitting your music, and learning how this business is handled. And the way I'll do it is I'll take a song, I'll get as far as I think I need to get into the song before I can do just a slight fair critique. Um, and then I'll just give you my feedback. I may ask you a quick question or I may not. Everybody's different as to what genre you think you're in. Usually 50% of you are in the correct genre, the other 50% are in the wrong genre. And so I'll explain which lane you should pick or what the confusion is when I hear the song. Um, but guess what time it is? What time of year it is for music placements, everybody?
Christmas time.
Christmas.
It's Christmas time. That's right. All the TV shows, all the hallmarks, all of that stuff are starting to start. The requests are starting to come in. So normally I do. Most of my libraries to just take your songs, put them in non-exclusive, which means you could do whatever you want with them. But it got too crazy to a point where you guys were sending song, not you particularly, but like thousands of you that I speak in front of. I do about 15 of these lectures a year. We're all of a sudden sending your money to everybody. So when somebody put out a call, there were five different pitchers sending the same song in. So then I kind of slipped over to exclusive to make sure that I'm just doing like US and not competing with your song and five other people and getting turned down simply because the other person turned in that same song first. That's how they decide who gets it. I want to do that. So I kind of go more exclusively, except for Christmas. And there's other one-offs, but with Christmas, I do have a folder. It's non-exclusive. I put everything in there, and then I get these odd requests. Like, I just need sleigh bells and a female vocalist singing guitar, or it's a Christmas commercial for a beer. It needs to be half EDM and half heavy metal with some country in it. I'm just like, okay. So I never know when I get, so I just fill my Christmas folder up with that. Um, I do management. I've got some bands that are just off the charts right now in multiple genres. So I've built them up to where they're self-managed on the road, which is great. So now I'm back behind the scenes, licensing, selling their catalogs, getting their record deals. What that means to you is that have more hours in the office instead of gone for months at a time on the road with these bands and trying to talk to you and screen your songs while I'm driving or something. So I have the ability now this last month to pay really good attention to your songs, hear them like here. See, I'm in the home office now with the good headphones on, and really give you my best and have a little bit more time. And then at the end, I'll give you my website and how I run my business. But in the beginning, I don't charge anybody. You're allowed every year to send 2 songs to me. If you send me 10, I'm only going to hear the first 2. If you ask me to download something, I'm going to just ignore your email. I don't have space and music supervisors don't have space. You want to send a link where they can click it and just hear the songs. Okay. And you can allow to send 2 every year. And then I'll just say, I got it. I'm going to pass on it, or it's not quite right, or just maybe 1 or 2 sentences, but not real deep feedback. If you want feedback, you got to do a consult where I can sit down and go line for line because feedback takes an hour and I'm not cheap. So you want to make sure that if you ask me for feedback as to why I passed or whatever, I'll be happy to do it for you, but you got to schedule a consult. But to submit to me for free once a year, 2 songs, go for it. I'll even let you throw in a Christmas song whenever it's Christmas season, which is now. All right. So I don't feel like anybody has to buy my time just for me to hear their songs. That's not the case at all. Okay, so sometimes you have lyrics, sometimes you don't. I guess I'm ready to get started since there's so many of you.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to put in the chat. This is the order we'll play songs in. If I've missed you for some reason, please let me know in the chat. So this is, the order is based on who submitted first, and also if we have people who are in different time zones like the East Coast, put those first. Pardon?
I think Naomi, you want to turn your volume off? I
I'm
see.
sorry.
It's okay, honey. Jacobus is there. Nancy has
Hey,
her
any
volume
chance
on.
Marcella can go first because she has to get up at 2 a.m.
I put her like third,
Oh,
I
okay.
think. All right, is
I
that?
think Chad, your mic is on.
Right.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Maybe
Yeah, my mic is on now. I can hear you guys.
Oh,
hold on.
okay.
It made me install the business version. I had Zoom, so I thought I was good to go, and then I'm like, join, and it's like, no, you
All
need
right.
the business.
Maybe,
All right.
Okay,
let
so
me-
So for
You're
now,
gonna
you
be-
can turn it off. It's just I can't tell if it's on or off. Oh, there you go. We're good. We're all good. Everybody's good.
let me put the revised up. I'm not sure if one I put in was revised anyway. This is the order we're going to go in. So Emmanuel, you'll be up first, and let me what I do is I have to share my screen and then I'll get the lyrics up and we'll play the song. Okay, and this is called Brand New Day. Anything you want to say about it, Emmanuel? Emmanuel, do you want to say anything about the song before we start playing? Maybe you're on mute. I'll just start playing. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and play it and I'll listen to it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Well, yesterday is over, yesterday is through, yesterday is done, now it's in your rear view. Now you got a nice clean slate, fresh with no mistakes. You got a shiny new horizon, golden day horizon. Because it's a brand new, brand new, brand new, brand new day. Brand new day. Fresh, sweet morning. You wanna get up, get going, wake up, rise and say, welcome, 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 brand new day. Brand new day, brand new day.
That's good.
You can get through.
Okay, good job. So, Emmanuel, what genre do you think this is?
I think it's either pop or world, and I know world as a genre is pretty broad, so I'd say it's probably closer to pop.
Okay, so name me 1, 2, or 3 artists that are putting out this kind of music in your age group in pop.
I would say, although he's not pop, I would say Kev Mo. This is something
Right.
that Kev
Yeah,
Mo
he's
could
more
do.
Americana roots,
Right.
but he's not pop.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. So the point I'm getting to is this is definitely not pop.
Okay.
What I hear it is in the market, it's going to be, it could be, it needs to be defined more. I think that's kind of why you're having a little bit of trouble. It could be adult contemporary, um, meaning like the music is kind of like Jimmy Buffett in that style, sort of yacht rocky kind of stuff.
Got it.
There would be a few things I would change. I noticed a lot of the instrumentation, the horns. I don't know where you mixed it or where you wrote it or how you recorded it, but I feel like I'm hearing some older synths on this or older plugins. Is that correct?
I had a producer. I paid a producer to put it together. I don't think that that they played live instruments, so I think it
Right.
is
You would
synth.
have known by your bill if they use live session player. So it just sounds
Right.
like he put MIDIs there. So when that's done, that's fine, especially if you're trying to sell a song.
Sure.
But in today's market, with all the tools and all the plugins and everything, there's still software that you can get it to sound more current.
I
Now,
understand.
like if he had, so he could have had something older or might have just had a MIDI keyboard that he was using. And so then that kind of gives it a more like a smooth jazz kind of vibe. But
Mhm.
but like the vibes and everything give it a sort of Caribbean feel. And then your voice is very, or whoever's singing, I'm assuming that's your voice, is very like a smooth jazz. So I hear a little bit of smooth jazz, I hear a little bit of contemporary. I don't hear zero pop. As a demo, it could be pitchable. I would like to hear a lot more forward motion. So instead of just the strings and the horns in the back, I would have just had a real saxophonist come in there. That would have given it a stronger, more modern vibe, and it would have probably passed for today's smooth jazz is smooth jazz. I don't think if you listen to smooth jazz between between 1995 and 2025 that style has changed much other than production quality has improved. So that's kind of a safe zone. Just like I said, if you tell me you're doing children's music, like obviously that hasn't changed much. Children is still a children, right? It doesn't change a lot, but the production quality gets better. And sometimes the the lyrics are more relevant to what's happening today. But other than that, so that's a safe zone if you were to go that route. But it's not quite defined because I'm hearing no pop. Um, it's either could go adult contemporary. I think for you, because I'm familiar with your music and what you've done in the past, I would take it more of a smooth jazz. I would just, just it's good for demo. Maybe just have them find a real good saxophone player. Don't use those MIDI or those plugins. They just sound more 280s to compete with today's market and today's production. But as far as songwriting,
Thank you.
great songs. The second song I've heard this week with called A Brand New Day. Um, the only other thing that I would mention is I got a little bit lost in your chorus because it was a little bit long. You did the right thing at the end when you repeated a brand new day, and you started off brand new day, but there's some word stuffing in between. People want to really connect with the chorus and sing that part. And so when you have a little word stuffing and it's kind of, I think it could use one or two less statements in the chorus to get to the punchline, especially in the radio market for sure.
Great.
And then
Okay.
of course, I'll say this to all of you, it's kind of tropical. So if you take the vocal out, it would be easy for someone to sell it for licensing. I'll give you some example: travel logs, cruise ships, documentaries about locations, right? And remember this, when you're singing, you're making the same amount of money, whether your voice is on it or it's just your music and your melody.
Oh, I
Something
didn't
to
know that.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, because if you wrote the song, you wrote the song. Where it says lyrics, if there's none, then you just get all the percentages for the songwriting. So whenever you go in the studio, tip your engineer, make sure you get an instrumental version as well as the vocal version. But
Got it.
thank you for presenting that song. It's got a lot of potential.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay, next up we have Sham Sundra. This is called Can't Fake This. Sham,
Okay.
any comment?
What genre is this, Sham? Your
It's
microphone's.
Sean, by the way. Jimmy had
I'm
it right.
sorry,
Sham,
Sham.
sorry.
That's okay.
Sham Sundra.
I don't know, pop rock, I guess.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. Before I hear it, name me a couple pop rock bands you think is gonna be in the same section under albums in the record store and on radio.
I don't know. Imagine Dragons, maybe.
Okay, good. That puts an image in my head. Let's see if it matches. Although I consider them a little more indie, but okay, let's hear it.
I spent the past 2 years alone in my mind, and somehow I landed next to the fall line. I could not see it clear until I realized that I'd been handed a chance to rewind. Now I spin in a world of only you. I spin warm in your falling rain. Now I spin in a world of only you. I spin high in your aeroplane. Can't fake this. You got a different kind of love, a different kind of love. Can't fake this. Can't
Okay,
fake
that's good.
this. You got a different.
Perfect. Great production on this one. It's coming through nice and clean. Yeah, you're right. Kind of indie pop, or indie Imagine Dragons. You just hit it right on the nose vocally, lyrically. I did notice on your, can you pull up his lyric sheet and just go slowly from top to bottom? I'm just gonna check something. It was really good. It's very marketable. It's very common. It's stuff that people are buying and selling in today's market. Go slow. Okay, keep going all the way down, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the bottom. Okay. You want to go all the way to the bottom,
That's
all
it.
the way,
That's
all
it.
the way to the bottom. Okay, perfect. Now go
Yeah.
all the way to the top. Just go all the way to the top. Okay. So one of my pet peeves is when you turn in a lyric sheet, there's no contact. So you want to put your phone number, you want to put maybe your email address on there. If you're registered with ASCAP or BMI, that tells me a lot. sometimes I have to screen 100 songs. So I'll start by looking at the sheets. I'm like, okay, well, this guy has his game together. He's already has, BMI or ASCAP on there. He's got his contact information. So I know he's registered. So I'm going to listen to your song. It's going to go to the top of my pile of 100 songs if you have that information in there. So that's why I wanted you to see his entire sheet. I want to make sure I didn't miss it. Um, there is a sort of a standard lyric sheet. If you guys email me, I can send it to him. He had it really good. Verse one, verse two. I was a little bit nervous about because I saw that you had a pre-chorus, but in your particular genre, it's fine and it worked good. Those are harder to work in a pre-chorus before you get to a chorus because it drags the song out a little bit longer, especially on radio, but it worked fine. It was well done. That's a really good example of when it's okay to use a pre-chorus and get your message through. So kudos to you. That's got everything. I didn't see anything I could change. I didn't see any. Yeah, everybody's copy. I didn't see anything to change. It's ready to go. It's ready for the next step to license to put out. All right.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, next is Marcella Riley, and this is called Burn. And Marcella, you want to say anything?
I don't have anything to say.
All right, let's hear it. I like
Okay.
that.
All right.
I'm all ears.
Gotta find it here.
Have you been with us once before, Marcella? Or is this the first
Not
time?
with you, but in other sessions before.
Okay. Okay.
Whoops, hold on. I forgot to share my screen. Hold on. I'm gonna say something happened there. Here we go.
More than a seam, rare and unique. Got bigger dreams than what you see in me. Smile like a baby when I pick up speed. Risk everything just to be seen. I'm gonna crash and burn if that's what it takes for you to scream my name. No more U-turns. I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna burn. Oh, you're gonna watch me. I'm gonna crash and burn. If that's what it takes for you to scream my name. No more U-turns.
Okay. That's good. Thank you.
I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna burn.
Okay, so thank you for that. I really love your attitude in that song. You don't sound happy. And so in film and TV, we love that when you can create an emotion that delivers the right mood, right? Every story is not happy from start to finish. And we need a lot of that. Sometimes I get too many love songs and everything's wonderful and bliss. So you get, 10 stars for the attitude on that one. I like the drum, how you had it raw before you had some music come in. That kind of reminded me of like the White Stripes early version with the two of them that come in like that. Very, very indie alternative. I do have issues with vocal delivery. How you sang into the mic is one issue I have, and then the other is enunciation. So if you say like burn instead of burn, or there's different words when you're pushing vocally, and I think it just has to do with your breath when you're breathing and you're delivering your vocals. So I think like a quick YouTube videos on vocal bringing and delivering so your words come out clean and clear and not so forced and more natural. It seems like you're trying really hard to sing a song in front of an audience instead of you're trying really hard to deliver some words of hurt, right? Right? And that can be fixed not by changing your story, not by changing the angst, not by changing your lyrics, but just by changing your breathing and getting the vocal delivery. And then the last thing is there was pitch issues. And again, that's vocal delivery. Nowadays, when you go into studio record, we didn't have this in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or even the early 2000s. There's when you're paying an engineer, a lot of the software now comes with pitch issues where they can fix it. Sometimes it's just like a meter, like they can see you're going, you're not in the green light, you're in the, just like your car, it's going red, it's going yellow. It's like, hey, cars close to you, don't get too close. And so that used to be hard to fix because you'd have to go back in the studio and pay for the engineer and redo it. Nowadays, a good engineer is going to have that, or they're going to stop you right there and make you sing it so that your voice isn't cracking or that you're staying in key. There's a tool for this, and this is what I love about this day and age. There's actually three tools. You can just Google them, but they're apps. Some of them are free, some of them are like $2 or $3, where you can sing in it, and it'll tell you when your vocal's going too high or too low or out of pitch. Just like a guitar has a tuner. It's the same thing. I would definitely recommend that, or just feed your song through it so you could see the points that you're struggling at, and then try to fine tune those points to stay in tune, and then do the enunciation correctly with the breathing. I think you can get more of a it's poppy, but it could have more of like a Janis Joplin angst, or maybe a Macy Gray kind of push on her vocals to deliver that same message. I said Janis Joplin because I'm old, but Macy Gray's relevant, right? So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Pierre Engelbert, and this is an instrumental.
Pierre, are
And
you an old client? I
Yeah,
recognize
I've been
that.
on a couple of these before. Yeah.
Okay.
it's
Good to
called
see you again.
Yves Montand something. You can explain
So
all
the
that.
title is in French. I'm sorry.
I
Yves
love it.
Montand, Catherine Deneuve. So the song is an instrumental. It's
Okay.
sort of classical,
Uh-huh.
and it tries to evoke like a French black and white romantic movie from
Okay.
the 60s. So it mentions two actors, and the title is that they broke up. I have no idea if they ever worked together, but it's that's what I came up with.
Okay. Let me hear it. I love cinematic stuff.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Awesome. That was really well done. How was that recorded? I can't hear you, Pierre.
Sorry, I played the piano myself, and then I
Mm.
played the strings on the keyboard too. And I used the BBC Symphony Orchestra.
Sure. That's a great package. Okay. So it sounded real good. So I liked it because let me just teach you all something about cinematic and film and TV licensing and placement. The biggest way that you sell it is to correctly, it's a great song, so I'm not going to critique it. It has a couple things. So it can be used under haunting, sing, or tense. But then it's got this really pretty melody that comes in that can be maybe sad or melancholy or reflective. It could also be like the aftermath, like at the end of the credits, Tom Cruise was able to be the hero of the day. and then the end credits kind of roll up. And it's got a great melody. It'd be really good for a trailer. Again, end credits, as the movie ends. Um, it's got some tender moments, so it's going to be tricky because if it's being used for something a little scary, a little tense, a little haunting, like a little um detective kind of, then you want to have your stems in case you want to pull out I think it was the strings that were real pretty. Yeah, that came in and they were real pretty because then all of a sudden it sounded happy and better and exhaling,
Yeah, it
so it's got right,
modulates
right, it
between the
modulates. So
frequency
you
and yeah.
have two different emotions. First, it's like and it's like right, and I hear that in both. And so that's why it's important when you guys go into the studios and you have your songs and your instruments that you also keep your stems in case they want to cut that up or something like that. But for end credits, it works. If it's a film that has a lot of tension, it has a lot of drama, but it ends okay or well, you know, then that's the perfect as far as a trailer for the credits to go up. Very well done, very cinematic, and really good for trailers. So I think that's ready to market for sure.
Wow, thank you so much.
Okay, next up we have Cameron DeVries, and this is called My Light Has Gone Away. Cameron, you want to say anything?
Yeah, sure. This is kind of an indie Americana, folk indie Americana.
Okay, that's my wheelhouse.
Oh, it's an AI vocal. Yeah, it's AI vocal.
Okay, so go back to that. Oh, are you going to show it again? You're going to show the lyric sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, he's got the title in parentheses. He's got his name. He's registered with ASCAP. He's got his contact information and his phone number. He says verse, pre-chorus.
Perfect. Gone away. So much for yesterday, when your love was like a floodlight, always shining down my way. Now I'm a prisoner of the dark. I've lost that dazzling spark. I used to bathe the night in incandescence till it filled my soul sick heart. We all need protection in this sea of chance and fear. Even the best ship needs a rudder, else it cannot steer. It's hard to say things are better without you in my view. I miss your warm aurora, your light was always guiding me through. My life.
Okay, that's good.
It's gone away.
Can you guys see it's kind of a long verse, a long chorus? Because it's a slower song and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines on the chorus. I don't have time to hear thing, but I would look out for that. You mentioned, Cameron, that this was AI vocal, but everything else is real. Is that correct?
No, I made it in 30-second chunks on Udio. So I just made a bunch of 30-second generations. I put my demo. So I mean, I sang my guitar vocal, and it just enhanced it, basically.
Okay, so I don't accept anything that's been used with Udio or AI vocal. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you why. So I've already had 3 artists who've gone through studios, paid studio time, put their stuff up on TikTok, and they're pulling it down because it's somehow been tagged as AI. And you guys as songwriters don't know that the engineer used Udio or one of the others that's flagged as AI. So what happens? They've got 10,000 with me when I work with independent artists to sell them, whether it's for film and TV. I've got to have a reel of your stuff. I've got to show them your numbers. I've got to show them that you have a resume. Okay. That stuff gets pulled down. You've lost your numbers. You lost your 2,000 views. You've lost your TikTok. You've lost your YouTube's flagged you as AI. It puts a reflection on me for not sending authentic music. And so I usually can control it, but you guys as songwriters don't know when someone's using those tools. So strictly for me, I don't take music that has any kind of AI because when I work with the influence, I pick independent artists to work with, not artists that are on a label. If a label wants to use AI, it's a great tool for them, especially for composing, for film and TV, and like you said, doing a quick demo, right? It's great. I heard the demo, you did it fast, you did it easy, but that's what the computers do, fast and easy. So for an idea song to go in the studio, but you have to make sure that with your engineers are using everything. You just have to tell us because some work in it and some don't. I just happen to be one that I don't. And the reason I don't is my job is I develop the artist. So I do a lot of artist development, especially with the young ones. I know you're in there. I think Jared and as Jacoby was in here earlier, right? You know what I'm talking about, Jared. Some of the young ones, right? There you are, Jacobus, right? So he's young. So that's the kind of things that we want to watch out for. So I do a lot of artist development. So if I'm going to try to sell you or sell your catalog, because I don't do like a song or 3 songs unless they fit for a specific scene. I deal in catalogs. It's not worth it for me to sign a contract, as it is with most people that work in music supervision, to sign 2 songs, unless I really think it's gold and it's just perfect for the next NFL clip. You know what I'm saying? So in our world, so we want to tend to work in catalog or full album or full song. So we have to be careful. It's becoming a deep issue for some of us, but not for all. Like I said, if record labels want to do it, if certain libraries want to do it, that's fine. But I work in artist development work. So if I start to work, I mean, imagine how we would both feel if I started to get all your numbers up and your hip hop game going, and then your music gets flagged and it gets pulled down. We got to start all over. So everything I worked for the last 6 months or a year to get you placed is now wiped off the board. It's a brand new issue I just started dealing with this year,
I'm not.
literally
I
this
wasn't
year.
here I
Yeah.
wasn't submit. Sorry, I didn't mean
Uh,
to. Sorry.
yeah. But
I'm
anyways,
not here to submit. I'm just here for feedback.
yeah. So as far as that, but on that being said, I hear a lot of digital stuff going on. So I was wondering if it was done. The other thing is when you use AI, we want the stems. You're not going to be able to have the stems and the AI files and the WAV files for film and TV licensing.
I don't. Yeah, I don't pitch any of the
Yeah,
songs. Just song
yeah.
feedback, the structure.
But the structure for I see what you're saying. It's like a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's a great lyrics. I like the storyline. I might have just gotten to it a little bit sooner, the chorus. But then this is a short event. So that works, and you had the genre 110%. Very anything between Jillian Welsh, Alison Krauss, and possibly a Molly Tuttle right in that market, which is very relevant for today. So if you went in and do the studio and had no AI recording it, it would work perfectly in that genre. So you're right on point in that.
Thank you.
Hope that was the feedback you were looking for, right?
Yes.
But I'm glad somebody brought it up because the first time in the years I've been doing this where just the word AI came up. And Cameron's very really knowledgeable on what he's doing. But other people might walk in the studio and not even know if you don't tell them don't use any AI, right? Or we're in breach of contract.
I pull out all
And
the
then they
AI
use that.
elements
Yeah.
before I
Yeah. And
produce
then
it.
so you just want to make sure that you understand that whole situation.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. I think that was a lesson, Cameron, for all of them. Yeah.
Sounds good. Good,
Yeah.
good comment.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have a full-time job and you have a song in your head and you want to get out, go for it,
Sure.
right? Different case scenario.
Yeah. Next up, we have Catherine Beck. This is called I Know I'm Broken. Catherine, any comment?
Another happy song.
Did you want to comment at all, Catherine?
Oh, well, it's just a pretty typical rock song, sort of a heart flare, but not really. But I'd like to pitch it to new upcoming rock artists, since I'm not a rock artist, as you well know. So that's it.
What you want to do to help yourself when you're trying to pitch, whether it's a country song or a rock artist, do your homework. Find out which are, get a list of 10 rock artists you think would be good for it, and then find out if they write their own songs or if they even will accept demos. I've had a lot of people send me songs for Carlos Santana. I'm like, he writes his own music. He plays his own guitar.
Gotcha.
You just want to learn your licks. Like there's a whole thing there. Don't
Okay.
send me a song for Taylor Swift because she writes her own music. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a hard sell. It's a hard pitch. Just this is for your sake to give yourself an advantage. All right, let's hear it.
Okay.
an awful day. Took drugs that came my way. The rest is all just history. Got a rap sheet for days, a high that never stays. And I'm wondering in my mind if I'm not crazy. I know I'm broken, and you can't find me. I'm hidden in the dark so you won't see me. I know I'm broken, and you can't fix me. Hearing voices in my head that never end.
Wow, Catherine, you always give me songs that are like the Carpenters. This is way different. Way different. Good on you. Yeah, definitely a heart vocal for sure. Yes, that's a clap. And Stephen Roaring, how did this get recorded? Did you go to a studio and then some guy just played rock guitar on it for you?
Yeah, I went to another producer that I use to do my rock stuff.
Yeah, he did a really I'm gonna say kick-ass rockin' job on the delivery and the motion. It does sound a little dated because it is like close to heart.
Yeah.
Also there was just a little things to help it because the guitar is so and so punchy. With I would have heard it almost. You sound so close to heart that I didn't hear the other sister singing on the highs. On top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm crazy. Those single parts are not there
Right.
where in rock music, and I really think it could have used that to work with the heavy guitar and also to help you with the lyrics. Remember when you got a heavy guitar going and punchy, and you got drums and you've got crash cymbals and you got the toms going and you got the treble bass going, okay, and then you're a female and you're trying to sing over that. It's going to be really helpful if you have another female vocal or if you overdub your vocals on that, right? To get over that wall of rock, as we call it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because you can't really turn the guitar down because then you lose the emotion, which then it may hurt your ability to place it for film and TV. It's also really good as an instrumental. Really good as an instrumental. This kind of stuff I use to NFL clips and ESPN and skateboarding stuff and car racing scores and all that. So it's really good without the vocals. So it's a good case scenario to make sure you always have your instrumentals as well, because you can just hear it in extreme sports as a good category. Good job on that. That really surprised me coming out of you.
Okay.
Good job on that.
Thank you.
Definitely a different producer.
Okay, next we have Carrie Davis. This is called Altadena.
I've heard of that.
Is Carrie here?
If Carrie's not here, just skip because we got so many.
No, I know. I'm just scanning over to.
The Swain family. You guys are in Atlanta. Did you submit a song or are you just watching? Only because I know you guys are on the East Coast.
Okay, well,
I think you're Atlanta. They don't have a song, right? Okay.
Carrie will skip apparently because she's not
Sarah,
here.
did you guys send a song? Yes or no?
Nancy. Next up is Nancy Lynn Wolf.
Okay. Gotcha.
Hi, do you the Swain family?
Yeah. Did you guys submit a song just because I know you're in Atlanta, or are you just learning today?
Oh yeah, no, we're just listening.
Okay.
Yeah, we let our band know. We're just listening tonight.
Okay.
Thank
Awesome.
you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, Nancy.
Okay.
Hi, so can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, so this song this was just more a healing song that I wrote when my father committed suicide. So it's kind of like, I guess it's like a song about like how you feel when someone you loved committed suicide.
Oh, I work with a lot of those. We got a big hit off of Water Tower called "Take Me Back." So that's very common. Unfortunately, it's a very common subject. So, and I do get requests for that kind of stuff. So let's hear it.
In an instant, everything changed. A sudden sorrow I can't explain. The news hit me so hard. It left me deeply scarred. in depths of darkness where pain resides, a story untold where my father hides, a soul plagued by despair, leaving me disrepaired. Oh, Dad, I miss you so. Never thought you'd go. You battled demons alone. Your love forever shown. Your pain was too strong. Dad, I wish you held on.
Wow, it's a very powerful song. There was a couple things that I would change in it. One is the drums when it went bump, 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 bump at the same thing as the piano, just right on top of each other. So it chops it up. I like maybe some strings, or there was a light, I don't know, sort of a synth in the background that kind of came through. I would need to hear that. And I think the instrumentation needs to support the vocal more, for sure. And also you're singing a lot all the way through. You did finally take a pause, but it got down towards the middle of the song, right before we stopped, before you had a pause. So if you do, I love you so, instead of I love you so, or something like that, that break just causes like this next sense of emotion. So I think there's a lot of singing, and so the piano is not giving it forward motion because it's very bang, piano, 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 drum, 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 piano, right? And this is a very soft, sultry song, so it needs to move along. So I would have gone in the studio with strings and support and sprinkles, little notes or little things going on in the background, right in front of the vocal and then right after the vocal, and maybe have a little space in between your verses and your in between your choruses and your verses, some sort of space in there. I think that would be helpful because we want to be able to connect. This is a song that's all about lyrics. It's not all about performance. It's not all about guitar shredding. It's not all about guitar flat picking, right? This one, like rap, has a lot to do with vocal and vocal delivery because that's the storyline. That's the part people connect to. So in this particular case, you need to have the correct instrumentation supporting you. So I think as a demo version, it's great, but now it needs to go into a studio and make it more adult contemporary, like a Celine Dion. You know, for me in film and TV, it's a little bit hard to place because it says dad instead of it just being about suicide, because I get a lot of requests for stuff like this in this modern day and age. But since specifically dad from the daughter's point of view, it really limits as to where I can place it because maybe I'm dealing with son. So, um, um, so in these type subjects, but could all you could say this when you perform it live, what it's about. You could put it in the descriptions under Apple Music. This is a song I wrote about my father's death. He committed suicide, right? So now the information's there. But if you leave it generic as to the emotion and the feeling, now all of us in the room have known somebody at one time or another that suffered from mental illness and just took it all the way, so we can connect more. And so the more things that more people you can connect with, then the more sales you're going to have, right? So you can have 2 people in the room just cry, or 20 people in the room get really emotional, want to hear it again and buy the record and go see you live. So those are just some things I would change on the marketing side. As a story, as telling your story, it's fine. I wouldn't change it any other way. Because I think for you, it's probably a little bit healing. And like I said, I have 2 bands that have songs like this that we currently have on the radio. So it can be done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And thank you for sharing that, by the way.
Okay, thanks.
Next up is Michael Hiscox. The song is called No Way Home.
Yep.
And,
This is my first time, and I've already learned a lot. And one of the things I've learned is I probably should have submitted a different song. The song is basically nothing production value wise. I was thinking of it as just trying to pitch the song. It's kind of a couple breaks up telephone conversation sort of song. And
okay.
And the the words kind of build emotionally, and the vocal performance builds emotionally as the song goes. But yeah.
Yeah. So listen, when I critique songs, I can hear the lyrics, the melody when the song's being delivered, and I imagine it. I'm imagining this when I hear your songs. I'm imagining as a producer, what am I going to go in and make it grand and make it marketable? So never ever be afraid to set up a demo. And Jimmy can contest to this. I've even had people in the room play their guitar and sing it, just very raw. You know, and go, I'm not the right singer, but these are the lyrics and this is the melody. And then I go, wow, let's get the right person to sing it in the right studio with the right instrumentation. So, perfect example, Beatles. You know, if you just heard him singing the long and winding road, even off pitch, you can still go, wow. So never discount your songs in the version that they're in. Okay?
The skies seem darker and the stars aren't as bright, and the moon can't do the work on its own. I know it's smarter to let go and move on than go out into this night all alone. But I'm still broken and I can make it right with a pain that cuts me right to the bone. Told you I'm coping when you asked how I am, as I left to limp into the unknown, 'cause I was headed for no way home. I was leaving just as time ran out.
Okay, that's good.
Just like a bird.
All right, the chorus was a little bit long, and I did not see a repeating line for me to remember the song or the song title. But that being song, this is a very great song lyrically, and when you delivered, and you guys, I don't have time to stop and start like I usually do, but what I would have asked you to pay attention is he comes in and he sings a song, na 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 na, and then when he gets to the next song, he doesn't come in the same way, na 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 na, he doesn't come in that way, he goes na 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 na, right on the second line. He's changing up the melody as he walks into the room and he walks in there and he's still singing his song, but it's not redundant, it's not mundane, it's not predictable. It's not na 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 na, and making the band do all the work. So vocally, right? So vocally,
the
I
next
can hear
verse gets even more intense.
right.
Yeah.
And normally I don't really care for it when a song goes from a verse right into the chorus, but the way you laid it out was pretty cool and pretty smooth. And that guitar and that microphone, it came out really good. Like I heard that guitar, I was like, oh, that sounds like a Taylor or it didn't sound like a Martin, but it sounded like a Taylor, just a really nice high-end guitar or the microphone, one or the other. It was really went down when I heard it. Yeah, you're probably not the right person to sing it, but on the demo, I heard it. I got what you said. I heard your statement, and I would just tell a vocal who does sing well just to follow what you lay down, for sure. It's a as a songwriter, because I'm here to evaluate the songs. It's a great song.
Can I ask one quickie?
Sure.
You're just trying to sell a song or to get a publishing deal.
Mm-hmm.
How critical is it to go in with polished, produced, finished songs?
Most of the things that I've heard, except for two, are demo quality. So those were all pretty good. So you can imagine, because this is 2025. It's not that hard to get an engineer at a reasonable fee and have these tools and do it. Again, if you want to get in the business, you got to invest in your career and do something halfway decent. You know, there's people in this room that work with other artists to help produce stuff. Hi, Chad Johnson. I'm pointing at you. He's got a home studio. He's in Humboldt, and I know he takes on clients that do this kind of thing, and he does a decent job at it. And there are others of you. I've seen equipment in the background, but anyways, so yeah, so you can do that and find it to sing it, to deliver it, to get it. There's not a whole lot. There's not as many requests to accepting demo quality as there used to be.
Okay.
So, you're just going to limit yourself. And it's not that expensive these days, because you don't have to rent a studio for $10,000 for 3 days to get the one song out now, or get a good idea out these days.
Great.
So I hope
Thank
that answers your question.
It does. Thanks.
Who's next?
Okay, next we have Chad Johnson. This is called Like a Human. Chad, you want to say anything? You're on mute.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, this is also my first time, so I'm learning stuff. I didn't make any, I didn't put my contact info on the lyric sheet, but this is a song that I wrote and recorded and played everything. And it's, I guess my genre I would say kind of indie alternative, but I'm open to any other ideas because I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm kind of psychedelic too. And this song's kind of about going through a day as a spirit living on Earth, but it's also like going through a whole life. So like going through one day is like going through a whole life and existing like a human when really you're just a spirit inside and you're kind of pissed off you have to wear clothes and whatnot.
I love that. All right, let's see if I hear that in the song.
Okay.
Giving way to the twilight in its glory. The magic's still there, but it's changing. It's hard to remember that dream about soaring. It's all washed away in the morning. And so it goes. You can't fight gravity. So put on these clothes like a human, thanking the sun for the warmth and the order.
Awesome. So you guys, really good. Did you guys hear it swing? Na 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 na. And that's all the positioning of all the instrumentation that gave it that flow, and it swings, so it's got a lot of forward motion. You could see it wasn't choppy, right? Like some of the other songs we have. That's what I was trying to say sometimes with piano or drums or whatever. Very acousticy, so it's very indie rock and kind of psychedelic. It's very college radio, NPR for sure, hands down. They play that stuff all the time. Kind of reminds me of early REM stuff as well. Um, big band, big money maker. So I really liked it. I want to hear it on radio though. It would be good for I think it's too mature for teen angst, but I think for rom-coms, romantic comedies, it would probably work well. Um, for sure. I liked it. I'd like to hear more of it. Send it to me. Um,
Okay.
I didn't go through the whole song, but it was really clever. And when the song kind of swing, what he's doing there, if you guys don't know, because I showed he showed the lyrics and I think it was a B minor, then like a C7 major, and then you had another seventh in there. And
Yeah, I
so
use jazz chords.
yeah, that's what I meant to
Yeah,
say. It was
yeah.
jazz. So those jazz chords in an indie pop song helped it to have that swing, and it's unique. It's almost like that's Chad. When you hear that kind of music, that sound, you're going to think right to that artist when you hear that. Just like when you hear Adele's voice, you go right to that artist. So with his instrumentation, and I know you had electronics in there, but it had a very acousticy, very festival kind of vibe. Um, I would put it in a lot of movies with like oh gosh, I can't think. Some of these rom-com movies, but adult. Anything from Tom Hanks to who's the girl that loves dogs? What's her name? I
Paris
can't think
Hilton.
of all the commercials. Yeah, no, not Paris, the other one. I want to say Keira Knightley, although anything with her in it would be good. But some of the new stuff, anything with like a Cameron Diaz or younger type actresses, that stuff goes really, really well with that. Which is another reason why if you have the records, you're an engineer, you have your own stems. That's something for sure. Sometimes when people are trying to buy music for me, I have to note if they own the stems. I don't want you to send me the stems, but you own them. So if they want to pull something out or just put it in a scene that's only 12 seconds long, right?
Yeah.
They may not want the heavy electric guitar. So if he
Yeah.
has the stems, I'll say send it to me. Just send me all the stems, and then they'll tweak it to work for their film so it doesn't overcrowd the dialogue in the film.
Yeah.
So for songs, you always want to go and have those. I don't have you send them to me, but just have them in your possession. That will also give you an edge over licensing for film and TV if you have stems in your possessions. A lot of you singer-songwriters slash engineers already have them. Don't ever send them blindly to somebody. They're huge files. They take up all our storage, and music buyers are receiving, I receive anywhere from 30 to 250 songs a month. So imagine if I had to wait and download or even just store them and then listen to them. I would, it would cost me a lot for that kind of storage. So you don't want to do it that way. So there's a difference. So try to own on your songs if you can, your private stems. That's a whole nother conversation though. Good job, Tad.
Hey, thanks, Joanne.
You're welcome. Who's
Okay.
next? How are we
now
doing
that-
on time?
we're good.
We're
Yeah.
good? Okay, good.
Next up, we have Randy Hansen.
Oh, Randy.
Is Randy here?
Randy, if you tell me this is rock and roll or jazz, I'm gonna have a heart attack in this chair.
No, right side of the grass. The song is the title is a double meaning. And it's really our favorite response when people say how are you or how it's going and whatnot. We always get a smile and it's a conversation starter and it's kind of in the kind of a Zen bluegrass of the Grassicana category when it comes to charting.
Grassicana. I like that word.
Yeah, that's a cross between blue. That's actually a charting category. So, but yeah, so it's like Brian Bowers and Sergio Simpson and Steep Canyon Rangers and whatnot. So.
Oh, that's a fine bunch. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's hear it. I love the song title.
Hey, Mr. Sun, rode my roosteroo. Too many chores for me to do. In the South, 40 just won't keep. Come on down and dig in deep. Dance on the right side of the grass. Above the dirt.
Okay, good.
Still
That's good.
kicking.
Yeah, it's Americana Grass. So that chorus is very Grateful Dead. The chorus is very Grateful Dead. It's got a fun opening. There's so many things I could teach this group just about that way song. If you notice the change, it's tempo's the same, but you notice the vocal delivery between line 1 and line 2 didn't come in on the same notes. So, when you see music and you see the music notes, they come in completely different, but it's all in the same flow. It's all got the bounce. I was gonna take these off and go grab my mandolin right now, but I'm not that good yet. But it's fun, it's upbeat, and it could be grass because it's like a bluegrass, but then it's not. It could be something that you wouldn't be surprised to hear a Loggins Messina do, or the Eagles do, or that sort of country, a Sturgill Simpson do. So it's got that nice crossover, and the rooster and all thing. It's a fun, happy category. So that's really cool. The music's really good. I do a lot of music like that. If you just think of Duck Dynasty, if you think I have a folder in my library called Bars, Cars, and Tough Guys. Right? So any reality show has to do with cars, has to do with pawn shops, has to do with storage wars, has to do with, any that with the energy and a little bit of comedy and a little bit of fun and a little bit of bounciness and a little bit of attitude. That stuff works great. Works really, really great. That's really good. I've not heard that one. That's really, really good. Randy, not Randall, Randy. And I'm looking forward, by the way, to seeing Mojave Soul at Summergrass.
And Huck Finn.
And my event, Huck Finn. I just
Yep.
got the poster yesterday and find out you were on it.
Yep.
So congratulations on that.
Yeah,
Awesome. All right. So yeah, that's really fun. And you guys, that genre is really popular. If you guys don't know who Billy Strings is, you got to look him up. You're going to be in this game. You got to look him up. He changed the world for bluegrass by modernizing it and delivering it to new young people.
Yep.
He made Flats and Scruggs cool. Flats, Sex, Drugs, and Flats and Scruggs is the new T-shirt. So, it's a fun genre. It's acoustic. I work with a band called Water Tower, and they do old-time fiddle tunes, traditional bluegrass, their own bluegrass, songs about downtown LA. They busk in the morning. They sing about the AM/PM market. They sing about drugs and overdosing, and they sing with so much energy that they're the first bluegrass band to tour Warped Tour. I mean, because they have a sort of a punk rock attitude. So that's a whole genre. So don't be afraid to get out of your lane, or don't think that because I ask you what genre you have to pick a lane. But you do have to pick a lane when you come out of the gate. You're going to do bluegrass festivals, you're going to do punk rock festivals, you're going to do Americana festivals, you're going to go for the pop, you want to do Coachella, you want to do Stagecoach. You do kind of got to come out with a gate, pick a lane, measure it for 6 months or a year. Then if you need to change your game, I see a mandolin there. So just remember all those things. Good job, Randy.
All right, thank you.
That was fun. I might have to, what's the name of that?
Right Side of the Grass.
Good, I'm gonna have to request that. Okay. Awesome. Am I on the right side of the grass?
You're alive, I think so.
Yeah.
Above the dirt.
Okay.
Oh,
There you go.
6 feet under.
Yeah. All righty. Who's next?
Is Mark Miller here?
Well, he's not. He had an electrical problem at his house, so if you want
Okay.
to punt on him, you can do
Okay.
that. But
Okay, so well, if you have time at the end, maybe we can do that.
Okay,
How about
sure.
John Spires? Is John here, John Spires?
I don't see him
But
anywhere.
I'm JC. It says John Spires, but I go by JC.
Hi,
Oh,
JC.
okay.
Hello.
Let's just take a blind shot and listen to it. I have no idea what I'm gonna hear.
I'll bet.
We're all gonna be brave in this room.
Okay, hold on, I gotta find it here. This is called Yeah, Yeah, You're Gone. And let's see here.
Yeah, you're gone. Yeah, you're gone. Yeah, you're gone. Yeah, you're gone. Away from me. And I can't even try to dream about tomorrow. Yeah, you're gone. Yeah, you're gone. Yeah, you're gone. And I miss you, baby. Anyway, anytime you would come back,
Okay.
I'll be waiting.
Okay. So all night I've been saying you kind of should in the chorus repeat your line a lot. And this one he's repeating you're gone too much. So it's the opposite of that. That's what we have in this case. It's you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. But I'm not connecting to the song because I don't know why. Did you kill her? I was shocked at the end when you said, and I miss you. I was thinking you murdered her. And then, or you kicked her out. And then until I got to the line where it says, and I miss you. I'm like, ah. So I need to know, what happened? Did she do the laundry and find lipstick on your shirt? Like, did she go out and never come home? Did she, what's the deal? You're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. That's just too general for me, for our audience to connect with. So that's why it started off good because like you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, and on the fourth line I think you changed it in, and then a line came on, but then I was waiting for a lot more to happen. The story of why, because the first part caught my attention, and then when you go in, and then also I noticed your bridge was in the wrong place. You usually have a verse chorus, verse chorus. The bridge is to sort of break up what you've done the first two-thirds of the song, then you do a bridge, then you repeat a chorus in the outro, particularly in your genre, which is kind of a rock. The guitar kind of gave me a Tom Petty vibe. Yeah, it was kind of feeling like a Tom Petty-ish kind of rock song. So it would have worked for me if I would have had a little bit more of a story, if the bridge would have been in the right place, and then I think there was a piano or something that was not right for the song. I would have liked to hear a different instrument. So I would have to rework so more intense lyrics. So you caught my attention, and then you didn't back it up with why I should be so connect me more to the song. I just really want to know why she's gone. Now I know that at 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, I'm gonna wake up going, what happened to her? I still don't know. He's got to rewrite the song and give it that second verse is gonna tell me what's going on so I could connect. So it kind of left me on a cliff on that one. But really good on the intro. Just just finish up the storyline, get us more connected, rework some of the song structure, put the bridge in the right place, and then maybe add the correct instrumentation. Don't take out the guitar, just add something else in there to make it work. Alrighty? Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Okay, Larambe is not here, so we'll go with, is it Shinja? Is that how you pronounce it?
I saw her there somewhere.
Yes, yes.
Hi, Shin.
Hi. This is also my first time here.
Welcome.
Thank you. Kind of nervous. Yeah. I'm gonna play my song. This song is called So
What's
Long.
the purpose of that? Is it for cheap or? Oh, right.
Who's got their mic on? Okay.
All right. Let me see. Gotta share
This
my
is a
screen.
pop song and
Okay.
and a little bit R&B. And
Okay.
then I write a song and I produce this song, but I'm not a professional producer, so the production probably not very well. So
That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like I said, if you listen to a Beatles song with just the vocals, you can tell that it's a good song.
Yeah.
There we go.
Every time I close my eyes, your face always appears. Every time I clear my mind, your figure always is here. Every time I press the ear, I imagine your touch. Every time I hold my dear, try not to miss you that much. I try to forget you many times. No matter what I do, no, I can't. Cold rain keeps falling again on this night. I can't find you anymore. Is it time to say so long, so long?
Okay. Okay. Song's got a lot of potential. I do hear some R&B, and that's the way you arrange the instrumentation. So you could go into a studio and do it as an R&B way. Your vocals, it sounded like you were stretching. You have a very pretty voice. I might drop the key down a little bit, a half a step or a whole step, so that it doesn't sound like you're trying to reach that high. Um, and so you're singing way up here, and the instrumentation is way down here, and so you're trying to stretch your vocal to get this. But we really need something more in the middle for this kind of song. So maybe if you change it and don't go so low bassy or the drums and just a keyboard or acoustic guitar. I mean, it kind of had hints of a little things. I mean, I could hear this being, if we, you could go in the studio and maybe do it three different ways. You could say, let's kind of do a poppy sort of a Taylor Swift kind of version. So we'll stay away from the keyboards and sort of the R&B beat and just do more, a little more poppy. Or you could go in and say, let's do it like Sade, sort of a smooth jazz, because it's really mellow. It was like a good slow R&B song with the right production. So a song like this has a lot of potential, but you want to be able at least to deliver it as a demo to get someone to hear all that so that they can see the potential of the song. So I would just rework the demo so that you're not stretching your vocal to deliver it, right? Um, um, and then change some of the instrumentation. Like the beats were right, but they just seemed older. Like that was like a machine, like mechanical, very loopy. So you want something your drums to feel more a little bit more natural, so that we can get the flow of the song. It's got a lot of potential. Lyrics were fine. I almost had Steven stop the song and pull up the lyrics. Look at the lyrics. Pull up her lyrics again if you could, and look at the
Okay.
first chorus
Give
and
me a
see if you can
moment.
figure out what made me nervous before I heard the song. Just read the lyrics in the very first verse. See if you guys can pick up on it. There it is. How many times do you see the word every time?
4 times.
Okay. So usually when I see that, that's like a lot. And it's going to be repetitive, and the song is not going to get deep enough to where I can connect to the songs. So, but in your case, once you started singing and you went real airy, real light and real airy and really angelical, then you know what? I was like, you know what? It works. Every time I close my eyes, your face appears every time. So I bought into it. But normally I don't. I'll say you're using the same word. Try to say what you're saying with a different word. But I think it matched your melody and your genre. So I didn't mention that early, but these are the things I look at even just when I'm seeing your lyric sheets or like the location of your bridge. This song has a lot of potential for pop, for adult contemporary, for R&B, for a little smooth jazz. But I do think before we present it to somebody to take it run with it in that genre, it does need to be a little bit better produced. And I think you're the right singer for it. Just go down to your key and
Okay.
switch it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And enunciation is important. You have to enunciate. Sometimes when English is not your first language, and this has happened in this room several times before, I'll stop and I'll say, "Sing me this song in your native language," and all of a sudden it becomes more beautiful, right? When you're singing your native language. So you can also try that too sometimes, if enunciation isn't correct or you struggle with that, because you have a really pretty angelic voice.
Thank you.
And it's really popular. You know, if you listen to people like Billie Eilish, really slow, very angelic, very soft, really high, very emotional. Um, that seems to hit a mark in a lot of places on radio. And then of course everybody in film and TV wants something that sounds just like Billie Eilish. That's how it was like the last 3 or 4 years. It's starting to change up a little bit, but a lot of potential in there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so next we have Larambe, which has joined us. So this is called Closer. Any
Let her
commentary,
rip.
Larambe?
I could just go ahead and play it.
You are here, right? Where'd he go?
He's
Oh,
here,
there
but
he
his
is. Yeah, he's muted. Larambe, you're muted. Yeah, okay. All right, we'll just play it.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Any comment before we play?
Let the music speak for itself.
What's that? I didn't hear.
Let the music speak for itself.
Got it.
Okay.
slipping away. You say it's getting late, and you should be leaving, but I got something to say. Please don't go. Let's get closer, a little bit closer. Turn the lights down low, 'cause it's time I let you know I'm so in love with you. Getting closer is all I wanna do.
Perfect. You can stop there.
We've been friends.
Yay. I liked it. It's very different than what I've heard from you in the past. It's very fun. It's very organic. I get a lot of requests. So when we say organic or natural, you think of like this would be good for, believe it or not, like a bread commercial, your favorite bread commercial. You know, I'm so in love with you, and it's about bread, right? About a certain thing or a certain product. It's also really good. These types of songs, and I like the production and the quality and the whole thing. It's a feel-good song. We heard some tough songs tonight, so it was really refreshing to hear something that made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And that really did that with the music. That music is a little bit different than what I'm used to hearing you as far as instrumentation. It's kind of Americana-ish. I really, it's light and airy, and it just reeks positive, happy emotions and feelings. This would be also be good for Pampers. This is also good for the companies that do weddings and anniversaries, and they sync music to all that. It's also good for romantic comedy. It's got a lot of multiple uses in different areas. I don't think it needs to be reworked. And it's kind of a little, your vocals, it's weird because the pairing is a little bit different. Um, your vocals are kind of, they could be anything from sort of like a swampy New Orleans to an R&B vibe, but then the whole music is completely opposite. But for some reason, these two, it's well done enough that they complement each other. And I really like that. You know, because when you hear the music, you're going to think of something sweet. Maybe a girl's going to come in singing or some cowboy voice. And then your voice comes in and it's not high, it's very low. So, yeah, so it's very low, but it worked and it was soft. And so it's very good for commercials for sure. Definitely for commercials. Like I said, if you think of Pampers, if you think of your first car, you know, I'm buying my first Mercedes, you know, and you hear that song, I'm so in love with you. I mean, just it delivers the emotion that you want, right? So very well done. Good
Appreciate it.
job on
Thank you
that.
very much.
Appreciate that. It's ready to go.
Okay. Next we have Kennedy York. And this one
How many do we
is
have left?
1, 2, 3. And
Okay,
then
good.
there's 2 people who didn't make it. So
Okay.
we're doing good.
Okay.
in
Oh,
terms
thank
of-
you, Joanne. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Pierre. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Pierre. I know he's leaving the room. You're
Oh,
absolutely
this is Larambe.
welcome. No. I'm saying bye to Pierre because I think he's
Oh,
exiting. But
okay.
yeah, but that was really good, Larambe. Thank you so much. It
Thank you.
was different than anything you sent me in the past, wasn't it?
Well, I felt like I had to do something.
You did something different. Well, whatever you did, it's really working well for me, anyways, as a potential buyer. So good job on that.
Yeah.
Kennedy, any comments on your song before we play?
No, all right, let's hear it.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Comments. Not really. I mean, it's not a happy song. It's kind of a melancholy song. Really quickly, I'm pitching it tomorrow. And so this is a good opportunity, Joanne, to just give me feedback. I'm gonna spend the rest of the night just kind of remastering it. Yeah, this version actually, unfortunately, I sent Jimmy an older version. It's not the version I worked on last night. By mistake, I sent the wrong one, but it was too late to give him the correct one. But anyway,
Who's the pitch for a specific
Doug
placement or just a
Diamond.
light
Yeah,
or a music library or
music library.
just for general music library?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were
All
looking
right.
for something melancholy, sad,
Okay.
something that evokes emotion.
Mhm.
You know, something that's
Got it.
very dark.
Okay.
Anyway, this genre, I would say this is more like Nick Cave or
Oh yeah, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
yeah,
Okay.
or Radiohead. But we'll see how the production sounds. Remember, I'm tweaking it, Joanne, tonight. So
okay.
Sometimes when I hear myself and see myself singing hallelujah, never really understood that stuff, comprehend the fuss for a holy loser. And your hallelujah. I know that it's time for a change, gotten too deranged.
Okay, stop it right there.
Behind the scenes.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple of questions. What production changes are you making on it? From this version?
I'm going to master, well, the strings, the new version that I did, I perfected the strings.
Is it the same string package or is it?
It's totally different. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, because that was an issue. What about the piano?
The piano I tweaked. It's the same piano recording. I just I'm
so it's like
panning
this.
it.
It's like this. Bum bum bum
Yeah.
bum bum.
Yeah. Before that, I had something.
You didn't
that
change
was,
any of that out of it.
No, but what I did
It's
had before.
really choppy.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? Before what I had something like very melodic, but it didn't work, and I wanted it to simplify it. I guess I don't know.
So the production, so the okay, so the music is overpowering the vocals. And when you deliver to music supervision, it's all about the vocal, and the music is only the support band.
Okay.
That's your, those are your bros behind you backing you.
Thank
you.
you.
The vocal is that needs to be up front. The piano, choppy piano is not working. It's cutting your song up and it's giving it, and from I'm just hearing dun 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 dun, and so that's good if I'm doing a horror movie, if I'm doing something very jumpy, if I'm intended to have a breakup in the scene. But for this, it has to have flow. So maybe even a different, not even a piano, but maybe a synth or a Rhodes would soften it up a little bit. Instead of a piano, maybe some acoustic guitar in the background, and then on the mix, it's all on top of you. This has a lot of potential, and I could see where you're going with the I could see where you're going with like the sort of Radiohead kind of vibe, because it has it's that genre, but it's the wrong instrumentation. You don't hear that in Radiohead's music. They're very synthy, they're very EDM.
Yes.
And that's what gives them their flow and their popularity is all that production. So so I would cut up that choppiness, maybe use a different instrument, make sure that the vocals come out first. And that they're the loudest, and stay away from the chop.
Love it. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Kennedy, for submitting. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Larry Rusev, and this is an instrumental called Haystack Hopping.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
This is a bluegrass instrumental, happy Americana, banjo, acoustic guitar, slide guitar, acoustic slide guitar.
Okay. Let her rip. This is my wheelhouse. Can you stop it for a second and restart it? Before you restart it, I just want to say right when it gets to, well, I'll say something. It goes into one melody, then it changes really quickly in the beginning right into a different melody. Go ahead, hit it, let it rip. Melody. Keep going. Okay, now. Right here. Okay, you can stop it. I'm really happy with each section, but not together. You got a pop-in melody in the beginning, and then it goes somewhere else in a different melody. It's like you just connected the two. And then it had another melody, and then towards the middle you kind of revisited the first melody, but I think it was in a lower octave. That first melody is very poppy. I would have liked to hear the banjo do it, and then the mandolin do it, and then maybe acoustic guitar do it, and then everybody do it, and then go into your bridge and just solidify that, because it sounds like two or three different melodies put together. I also, and again, I don't have time, but what I would do is I would take this and I would put it in the machine and find out the key signature and the timing to make sure those changes are natural. And then the instrumentation, it just sounds like some sort of plug-in or a looping system on the drums and stuff like that. So with this kind of music, I do kind of want to hear breaks. But it sounds like you're trying to get a demo out, and I just really think it needs to be like three different demos, and then not go full banjo. And trust me, I work with a band that has two banjo players in it. So as much as I love banjos, I think a follow up. If you listen to this genre a lot, you're only going to know that then comes the mando, then comes the guitar lick, and then comes the vocal, or then they go toe to toe using the same melody. Very good melody, very start off, very poppy. That's the kind of song I hear in the campground that goes, "Hey, that's a cool lick. What is that? Show that to me." And then all of a sudden everybody's playing it. So that's kind of what I think of it in this short amount of time. I'd need a little more time to develop it. But boy, that first pop was really, really good until it changed and it went somewhere else for me. I hope that made sense in a
Yeah, it makes
bluegrass
sense.
world. Okay.
So I guess like it's okay to have the same melody repeated almost verbatim.
How much bluegrass do you listen to?
Oh, it depends on the time of year and what year. Sometimes more and sometimes less.
Yeah, listen
I
to
mean,
some, yeah,
I'll
learn
play
to some, yeah.
I'll play in bluegrass bands occasionally, but
Uh-huh.
a lot of time goes through in between where there's not, or I'm doing something else.
Yeah, but it's not like so that you got that great melody in the beginning. That's really good. Solidify it. Do it twice, and then have Amando take a swig at it. Or have Amando take his own melody line and then have the guitar take his own melody line. And then on the fourth pass, everybody comes in and repeats that exact melody that came in the beginning. Randy's shaking his head. He knows what I'm talking about, right? So, because you were driving the car, you were going to Disneyland, and it turned and it went down to downtown LA. And I was like, wait, where did he go? Where's that fun thing? So you want to emphasize that. You want us to stick to that happy poppy melody. And so what you can do is have a mando player or different, or your bass player or your upright player, repeat the melody, maybe just a little bit. I know with the bands I work with in bluegrass, sometimes there'll be the mando, and then here comes the dobro in a little different octave, or maybe just in a little the same keys, but just in a different location. Like with the mandolin, you can have your high octave, your mid octaves, and your low octaves to sort of accent a guitar. So they all have positions, just like vocals, tenor, a cappella, just the different positions with bluegrass. And so in bluegrass, though, it's all about the melody. Just like fiddle tunes, it's all about the melody, and everybody takes a swig at it. And then at the end, you come back together and you re-solidify that melody. And that first melody I heard was the most poppin' melody of the whole track, and I really liked it until it made a right turn.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next up we have Thomas Enguidanos.
Tomas.
And this one is called Still Yearning, or That's Why I'm Yearning. I don't know which one.
Yeah, I don't know the title, but it's kind of here's the thing is like I'm listening to all your guys' stuff and it's great. I love it. But I'm 65 and most of the stuff I've loved and listened to is like from 1940 to maybe 1970, something like that. So so this particular tune is inspired by like Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys.
Of course. Take me back to Tulsa.
Yeah,
I'm
Take
too
Me Back,
young to
all that stuff.
marry.
And then the only person I could pitch it to, which I actually tried to send it to George Strait, but
he writes his own songs.
There's no way, yeah. Well, yeah, or it's impossible to penetrate that unless you know somebody, right?
I manage a band that does Western swing. So if I like it, I see if we can get them to do it for you. Let's hear it first.
Okay, go for it.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
There's a lesson to be learned with each and every page returned from the time your heart starts beating. All the lessons keep repeating. If you knew how much I'm learning, you'd see just why I'm yearning. Across the fields, the wheat and winds are dancing.
Okay, that's good.
The greatest pain.
That's good. All right, so we have double genre in here. So it could be Western swing if you pulled out that piano and you swapped it up for some honky-tonk guitar, or honky-tonk style piano. It would Western swing, Bob Wills it up. But this piano playing is so good, it's jazz. It's coming out jazz. It's coming out Frank Sinatra.
It's like coming
So
out.
you got a Frank,
swing,
you got
swing, like more like the old time.
jazz swing, yeah, like the old time swing. And that's just popular. Hashtag Michael Bublé. That stuff is modern. So age doesn't make a difference in this style of music. I just think it needs to pick a lane, either go the jazz route, which is great, which means you'd have to pull out the fiddle, right? And go more with the saxophone or flute or very swanky, Sinatra it out. Or you could do it in Western swing, but then the melody of the piano is going to have to change and to be more honky tonk and have Dybra, yeah. But as soon as I heard the vocal layering, I'm like, oh, that's like Riders in the Sky. That's like, that is definitely Western swing, something you'd see at the Opry. So I just think
it just happened to be the band.
You're too talented, is what the problem is, because you can play a great
band
jazz
I was
piano.
playing with. That happened to be the arrangement we worked up. That was live, recording. So
yeah. It's good. It's just genre. I never get requests as I need something that's half jazz and half Western swing. They
do you
usually
get
will
requests
say
for Western swing? That's my question.
I get Western swing. Oh yeah, I get Western swing, and I get sure. There's a lot of bar scenes. There's a lot of things in Texas and all that kind of
Oh
stuff.
sure, yeah, those guys.
Yeah. So I totally do
cool.
that for sure. Yeah, and I manage manage and book a Western swing band, the Farmer and the Dale. So yeah, it's really big stuff, and they get a lot of good gigs. Cultural centers, things like that. There's money to be made in there. But yeah, Western swing for sure. Yeah.
Right on. Thanks.
You're welcome. Who's left? I
just
didn't get any
myself.
hip hop tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't get any children's music tonight. I didn't get any EDM tonight.
Hey, Stephen, did you get me in the list, or are you?
I thought I had. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not in the chat list, but I see it in.
I have your song here. I do. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get Dave Clausen in there.
You're next then.
Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, because I downloaded it and everything, but somehow I missed you on the list. That doesn't make sense. Okay. This is called Left Out. Anything you want to say, Dave?
It's just kind of like raw, melancholic folk kind of thing. It's not for everybody, but I know there's a target audience that, like, if they heard it, they would feel seen, so to
Whose
speak.
target audience would you say?
When you hear the song, you'll know.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I love a good challenge.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. Sorry about that, Dave.
So you left him out.
Yeah, gotta speak up if there's an
Ironically, it lives. Yeah, the title left me out.
here we go.
My stomach's churning, palms start to sweat. They're choosing teams, no one's called my name yet. To be chosen last is not to be chosen at all. They only say my name while laughing in the hall. Well, I'm the one left out. Don't know where to begin. I'm not trying to get even. I just wanna fit in.
Okay.
Open.
It's interesting. I don't have anybody specific in mind yet, but for some reason my mind keeps going to like a sort of a legendary classic rock kind of vocal, a song, like their anthem. You know, all the songs are rock and roll, and there's that one song on the album that is like the slow version that everybody likes just as well, like I want to say Guns N' Roses, right? November Rain by Guns N' Roses. It takes me to that. That's the one slow song that everybody's like, "Oh, wow, it's Guns N' Roses." And I said, you have a great vocal range, by the way.
Thank
Yeah, it's raw, but it's a good song. I mean, if it was well produced, you might be able to get a rock band to do it. I mean, for film and TV, it's going to need some work and some cleaning up because that bass is really loud. It's not going to work over dialogue. It's got to be something softer, and your vocals really strong. Um, but I can see a rock band doing it. I could see Guns N' Roses doing it. What'd you have in mind for it?
Well, I mean, I was just thinking, I'm a retired teacher, so I've seen these kids at school in my classroom that, they're bullied or they're left out, they're lonely, they've been abandoned. So for me, I didn't know if I should be calling up like anti-bullying, organizations and offering it to them for free or whatever.
Well, I
But
think the production needs to be better before it can be delivered to the masses for sure.
okay.
And it could be a little bit softer. Listen, if you have an anti-bullying, if you have a suicide song, if you have a song about a tough subject, doesn't mean you have to be loud or have heavy guitar either. It's all about the words and how well the music supports the vocal delivery so that it's believable. So if you're singing, my feelings were hurt, I felt bad, he lied to me, he wasn't fair, chunk, chunk, chunk. It's still not going to come off, you
Yeah.
know, I said, if I say you weren't where you said you were going to be, I found two glasses on the table and one wasn't mine, right? It's the same thing as saying, as adding the hurt. Um, but it sounded like a grand sort of classic rock, almost cross in between a little bit of Meatloaf, right? Sort of something grand, rock opera-esque. Um, but I didn't pick up the bullying theme or all that. That
Well,
part wasn't.
yeah, I didn't put bullying in so much as the lonely kids that nobody talks to, or they, they only say his name when they're laughing in the hall.
Yeah,
So they're-
yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was a little for that age group, it might be a little bit too strong, almost like a Metallica in the beginning. I mean, not that those kids don't listen to that, but I have to think about that more, and then I have to listen to the whole song. But you have a very strong vocal. I'm just always impressed with your vocal delivery. We just need to get the music to help support the words and make it a little bit more marketable.
Okay, thanks, Joanne.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Any
Next is
questions?
Yes, I have one other
Mhm.
question for Joanne, if I may. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay, sure. Regarding the instrumental bluegrass thing where you were advising that should have the melody traded between the various instruments of the ensemble, from the guitar, the banjo, mandolin, so on and so forth. What kind of consideration should we give to some breathing between each repetition of those phrases to let the listener kind of breathe?
Bass solo.
Pardon me?
Bass solo.
Bass solo?
Sometimes the bass solo will break it up. Sometimes change your just dynamics. Everybody pull down.
Yeah.
And let the fiddle come in.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
how about the
So it's just
band?
dynamics and sprinkles. So maybe the fiddle is just doing a little beam, 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 beam. And so there's a difference between a solo. So the mandolin could be playing a solo, and then the mandolin could be playing the melody, which is the melody of the song, which is the root of the song.
Yes.
Right? So somebody could be playing guitar while the mandolin's doing that, and then the mandolin could just be chunking while the another instrument, the banjo's doing the solo, and then the banjo's, it could be taking a solo but not the melody. So all instruments can do things. All instruments in a bluegrass band need to work off of each other. The best way to learn how to do it, if you want to practice with a band, is go out and buy yourself a condenser mic, a single mic, you know what I'm talking about, just a single mic, and y'all stand around and sing it, because you have to go in, you have to go out, you have to do solo, you have to do melody. It's a great way for a band to learn how to do it. Ear trumpet, thank you. We're endorsed by Ear Trumpet. I couldn't remember. Look at Ear Trumpet. They're very reasonable mics, probably under $300 for a simple one, and y'all get together and you sing around that. That's an ear trumpet. That looks like an Edna, maybe.
Yeah, okay. I get the idea, but always have some kind of melody or some kind of.
Listen to more bluegrass, because it's almost always there. You got to listen to more bluegrass for sure.
As opposed to like the in between things where I had just the banjo playing a like an arpeggio figure, and
that's the right turn. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, don't do that. You went to classical, and I signed up for a bluegrass festival.
Okay.
You know, do you see what I'm saying? Like it's like where you grab us, and then you got to keep us there and maintain us. Listen to Mojave Soul. They got a lot of great songs, and who else? I mean, you can listen to. There's a lot of great bluegrass bands out there. Listen to Seth Mulder. Listen to, Paul Ramblin' Boys. All that stuff. But watch Billy Strings is great, because he's traditional and he's also non-traditional, but he still only has those 4 instruments. And watch the dynamics. Watch what the banjo player's doing, what the mandolin player's doing, when he's soloing, when he's not, when he stems back, when everybody's soft, when everybody's loud, when everybody leaves a space. Bump, bump, bump. And but a little, it's just a break, just simple break. So all those things. So the round answer for all of that is dynamics. And the only way you can learn dynamics is to listen to other people that are doing it well.
Okay.
We do have one more.
Okay, who's next?
Myself.
Oh yes, of
This is
course.
mine. Yeah.
Okay.
And there were 2 people that didn't show up. I don't know if you want to listen to those or not, but
they can send them to me.
okay. Good enough. All right. Yeah. So this is called "But I Do." This is a rock song about supporting people.
Okay.
So let's see.
People say you have a checkered past. People tell me we ain't gonna last. But I've got something to say about that. I've got something to say. They don't even know a thing about you. In your eyes I see those lies are not true. They don't even know a thing about you. But I do. But I do.
Okay, that's good. Awesome. Wow. That's really punchy. I like the song. I like the lyrics. You have a very soft adult contemporary voice. You need somebody that's going to sing from the stomach and punch that out to get over all of those electric guitars. Like Clausen's voice over here, I don't know where he went, but that's a strong operatic voice that can really rock out. Your voice is, there you are, Dave Clausen. Somebody with a strong vocal delivery like that for a strong rock song like that has to be delivered. You know, we're looking for the David Lee Ross when you got that much guitars going on. Words, great. Melody, great. In the chorus, you had the repeating melody, which is stick, so I can walk away because I'm already here. You. Now, so I'm already hearing it in my head, and I'm not even heard but maybe one third of the song when I got to the chorus. So it's got all the increments. I just think a stronger vocal delivery, more of a roar, more of a breather, something really strong and heavy duty to get in there, would just help the song better to land harder. I wouldn't take it because I think it's too soft. Now, if it was an acoustic version of the song you were singing it, now we can maybe talk about that. See what I'm saying?
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff though. And also the instrumental. Again, where am I going to place this? NFL clips, extreme sports. What folder is it going to go into? Bars, cars, and tough guys, right? Reality shows, right? It's all there. It's all there. It's got all the music there. It's got all of it. Remember, it's the same paycheck with or without vocals. All
Sounds good.
righty. Any questions?
Yeah, Joanne
Awesome. Who's there? Who had a
from
question?
Hambe.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
So is it okay to say a couple of things?
Yeah, I mean, I really like that one, but you have to remember, I'm not going to sign one or two or three songs. I want a whole CD before I even draft up a contract. Now, that particular song, if you want to give me that with the lyrics, because I've already pre-screened it, I will put it in my non-licensed library, because I use that for a lot of backup. Sometimes what I can't find for the stuff that I've licensed, that's my Plan B folder. And sometimes I know that I don't have what a buyer's looking for in my general contracted music, and I'll just go right to that folder to pray that there's something in there that I have. So that one I'll take for sure as a single. Um, but for new songs, if you want to submit two new songs, just send me a link for two new songs. But if
Yeah, I
they're
know.
like that, for sure.
You prefer a link?
I don't download. I don't have storage for the hundreds of songs I get every week.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Thank you, Jim.
And with the song, you'd send me an MP3, a WAV file, and maybe an AIFF if you had it. You'd send me a lyric sheet, right? And you send me your information. Like, I mean, I will tell you what to send, but your BMI, your IPI number with ASCAP or BMI, and then I'll ask you if you have the stems in your possession or not. Um, and then I would just put all that information under your name in your folder so that I have it, so that if I pitch it, I know. So if the buyer says, well, we're going to need the stems on this because of the scene, then I was like, I can't pitch you if you don't have them. If you do have the stems, I can pitch you.
Gotcha.
So, Joanne, your email is musicbizgal@yahoo.com, right?
Yahoo.com. And what I do for SongNet, go ahead.
Biz is a B-I-Z, right?
Yeah, biz, musicbiz.com or musicbizgal
Right.
at yahoo.com is my email. What I do for, because it's so hard. I don't get to hear the whole song. B, I only hear one song. I don't really get to know you. I don't get to answer your questions. Don't get to answer mine. I can't dig deep. So if you guys want to do a consult where we do one-on-one, I do for the first week after I lecture, it's $120. After that, if you ever want to look me up, I'm going to be $200. My price is going way up simply because I'm so busy right now with licensing music to film and TV, and Christmas has me busy as well. So you want to take advantage of that rate, I can do one-on-one with you and help you and send you files and send you the proper template sheet and maybe find other songs that I think it should be produced at, sounds like. I just help you way more than I can in 30 seconds of reviewing a song. So if you want to do that, great. If not, we'll catch you on the next round. You can send me two songs for free. I do take a long time to get back though on some of those because I sit down and I'll do 50 in a day or when I'm driving or something. Any more questions? Awesome. I do want to thank
Joanne.
you.
Thank
I
you.
mean, without your music, I have no music to place. These are the hot spots where I find music. A lot of the buyers come to me because I do this for SongNet, Songs Alive, National Songwriters. I'm going to Americana Fest. I'm doing some screening at World of Bluegrass. I'm always collecting music. And one of the reasons I get requested for a lot of songs is because they know I'm in front of you guys getting brand new, fresh music. And so the buyers are not being pitched the same thing that they've been pitched last year or the year before. Same artists trying to get in. So by me coming out here and doing this and donating my time to SongNet, I'm able to discover great artists. And yes, I have artists. I particularly have one artist I've worked with about 8 or 10 years. Okay, 8 or 10 years, and just a novice songwriter to signing one song to getting a whole album. And now I'm starting to license it. I mean, it just started as a novice, and here I am 10 years later, and I've got a full album, and I'm starting to get hits on it and get money. So, keep coming back, keep trying at it. And again, SongNet has different speakers with different personalities and different set of ears. So, thank you, Jimmy, for all you
We
do
had
for
we had
songwriters.
one quick question about defining a
Tomas,
cleared song. Legally
a
cleared.
cleared songs. A, doesn't have any AI tagged on it. B, you own the masters. I don't want an engineer to come after me when I place a song in on the next Mission Impossible that he's going to contact the filmmaker and say, I never got paid for that song. Cleared means that you're going to show me you have a receipt. You're going to take a screenshot of the Venmo where you paid the person for that day. You had the song copywritten. You've already registered with your performing rights organization. If you're going to be a songwriter, please don't be lazy and learn this stuff, or hire someone like me or Bobby Borg or Dan Campbell or all these other people. Even Jimmy knows these basic things. Even he can help you.
Even Jimmy.
Even Jimmy. Even Jimmy. He knows how to do this.
Gee, thanks.
Or just Google. No, but you know what I'm saying, right?
I know what you're saying.
He's a nice guy. Buy him lunch and he'll show you how to register your song, what it means, some of the very basics. But don't do it. I've had so many artists. It's so frustrating when I get these great songs and they haven't even registered, don't know what ASCAP or BMI is or does. And I've got 24 hours to place the song. And I can't because it's just not there. Paperwork's got to be turned in. In film and TV, the music is placed last, not first, last. Because those producers, those editors, those cinematographers, those costume design people always find things. And so the last month when the music goes on, they start to suck up our clock to where the music was supposed to be turned in yesterday in order to go to movie theaters, and we still don't have the music on it. Okay. So kind of learn the business and the basics first if you want to make it a business, or hire someone that you trust that knows the business to do it for you. I take a lot of artists on retainer for a flat fee for usually 6 months at a time. Then they can call me and say, can you walk me through registering my song? Can you show me, is my song cleared? Well, I think I paid the guy. Let me call him. I wrote him a check. I have a copy of the check showing I paid him on this date. I'm like, great. Send him an email or print the email that says, I'm going to pay you $800 for mix and mastering of the song. So he doesn't call back and go, I mixed it, but I never got paid for mastering. No, you have the email, it's printed, and it's in a folder. Clearance. Got to prove you own the song. Copyright your song. If you're going to be a songwriter and you want to make money, you got to open up your store and you got to handle your paperwork. You can't walk into a restaurant without having a business license to sell food. All righty. Anything else?
Well,
Are you
yeah.
saying bye? Go ahead. I'm here for questions. I'm not tired yet.
Oh yeah. Hey, Joanne.
Mm-hmm.
Tomas here.
Oh, okay. There you are.
I compliment you on your career and your work and your teaching. It's like really wonderful, for you to share your knowledge with us.
Thank you. We should work together.
Definitely.
Hint, hint, hint. From one teacher to another.
Yeah, it was really cool. Your insights, and I gotta say, I live in Northern California. You live in Southern California, and I don't hold that against you at all.
Go Dodgers.
Most of us live in Southern California.
I know you guys live down there, but I'm starting to think it's pretty cool down there.
It is, if you can afford it and you like to look at concrete.
Right.
We have no water, we have no bay, and we have no pine trees.
Yeah.
I've been to your neck of woods.
Good music scene, though, huh?
Yeah, Santa Monica Bay. We have
Yeah.
Long Beach.
Look at that. There you go.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
go up
it would
and
take me
like,
2.5 hours each way to get to that Santa Monica Bay.
and before Altadena burned to nothing, it was a real
Mhm.
nice tree-ridden
Mhm.
place.
Mhm.
But anyway, one other thing that I'd like to add too, especially for Zen, there's a lot of open mics and everything else where you get to meet a lot of people in the community, and at those places you can find other people that will collaborate with you. So your tracks are very good. There's somebody that I've been watching over at Kulak's Woodshed every Monday, and she's just plays like simple piano chords and sings. Her voice is very good, and all of her stuff is very R&B, but just simple piano and vocal doesn't quite cut it. So I sat in with her on bass one day, and then all of a sudden everyone said, "Oh, now I get it." And then a drummer came in and said, "Hey, I hear it now. I want to work with you." And so now she's got a drummer and a bass player with her, and her stuff sounds amazing. So that's something to think about. Just go to these different open mics all over town, meet some of the people. Again, Kulak's Woodshed is one of my favorite places because you get the video and everything else, and it just works tremendously well.
Networking is what he's talking about. You
Exactly.
got to learn how to network unless you're in bluegrass. If you're going to do bluegrass, you need to hang out in the campground. You need to get in a circle that's at your level, and you need to watch and listen, and you need to see the artists on the big stage for bluegrass. You got to do that. If you're doing electronic music, you got to go to Electric Daisy Carnival. You got to go to their music conference. There's certain things you got to do. So you got to also know what's happening in your lane and how to grow your business in the lane that you've selected. Alrighty?
Yeah, exactly. It's very important to watch those TV shows or see those movies because I've submitted for things that were a big mistake because here I'm thinking, oh yeah, this will be really good for a superhero movie. No, they don't use rock at that time. They use nothing but hip hop beats, and it was like, oh, I'm completely in the wrong lane here because I'm thinking movies back when I was watching movies, and it's not even close anymore.
But here's let me just jump in. One thing is like sometimes you write just because you feel compelled to write. It's like you're not writing for a certain audience or a certain genre.
Right.
For me, like I would take an instrument out, when my kids were practicing soccer, and I would just take an instrument out and start coming up with a melody and come up with a tune, and then I'd grab my phone and use voice memo and
yeah, but like I said in the beginning, what you do is you can write anything you want, do anything you want, because you're leaving your imprint, your music, and your legacy to your family. But if you want to try to make money and monetize, it becomes a product, a commodity, then you have to follow certain business lines. So, because I get the urge to write melodies on my melody or on my piano, but I don't I know the business so well. There's no market for it right now for what I'm writing, right? So I'm happy to play my piano in the way I want to. So there's a difference between crossing over to business. So my answers are only pertaining to business. So if you're not interested in the business, write, sing, play, get those songs recorded and leave them to your family so they have them for generations on. I mean, that's super important and just important. So that's a really good point that you made, Tomas. When it comes to writing songs and having your legacy out there. Some people just do it. I interviewed David Crosby. He first started songwriting because he couldn't afford his therapist anymore. David Crosby, Kenny Loggins, when I interviewed him, he's like, I was in high school, I was awkward. I just saw how people with instruments were popular and I couldn't talk to girls, so I started playing guitar and writing these songs and then I found out I was good at it. So there's different reasons for and different purposes and different uses for your music and your songs. Just keep in mind that the feedback is specifically if you want to monetize in it, and listen to your competition. If you're a singer-songwriter, if you're country, if you're Western swing, you guys aren't listening. You got to listen to the radio. You have so many options to listen to your radio and what people are putting out in your lane, in your genre. Know what your competition is, and then say I'm ready because I am equal to or better than that song that's been playing on the radio or that's been showing up on Billboard or Americana charts or whatever. Don't just play it and think that it matches. Tell me that it matches. Be realistic about it. Listen to the right songs in your genre, and so that you know that you're equal to and better along. I mean, who goes into business selling cars and then studies on how to sell shoes?
Right.
Okay. Just because you're a great salesman, it's still you got to learn that your lane and what you're trying to sell out there. Your songs become a shoe product. Do you want a storefront window? Do you want it in LA? Do you want it in world? Your song becomes a shoe. Is your store going to be all tennies? Is it going to be high-end tennies? Is it going to be a thrift store using tennies? Is it going to be high heels? Is it going to be women's shoes only? What is your thing? Is it comfort? Is it like me? I can't live unless my Skechers, my shoes have this much foam in the bottom for my feet, right? So I usually go to Skechers or something like that. But so that's the whole lane in the business that you're in. So I have to learn about Skechers if I want to develop a storefront that's like that to be able to be equal to or better than, so people could be interested in buying it and I can compete. So you want to listen to John. That's one thing I find a lot of songwriters just aren't doing. Go ahead, Nancy. I saw you had a question.
I guess I was wondering if you place Christian or spiritual or
Sure. Sparrow
faith.
Records, Motown. Uh-huh. They almost all labels have their own umbrella record label for spiritual. Also, I picked up a new client that's in that lane. And then you can think of all of the famous artists, the Winans family, very spiritual. There's record labels, but also there's channels. There's two movie channels that are just like Hallmark, except they're Christian based. So all their movies have some faith-based shows and they eat that stuff up like crazy. So short answer, yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Uh-huh.
You're only supposed to choose either ASCAP or BMI, and do you have any opinion on which one is better for the artist or better company?
No, except that BMI is profit and ASCAP is nonprofit. So if that means anything to you on a personal level, then yeah, but I think one pays quarterly, one pays bi-monthly. I mean, it's like, it's just choose your bank. They're both
Mm-hmm.
going to take your check,
There's also
so
CSAC,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, don't
Mhm.
forget CSAC. That's where I'm at.
So there's CSAC.
Yeah.
That it used to be. Can you do that public now? For the longest time, it was invite only.
It's still kind of
CSAC.
invite only.
Yeah.
Basically, unless you're making money, you're not going to be
They're not
invited to
interested in you.
CSAC.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all about the
But
business.
CSAC's another one.
I
But I think that's for profit too. And then
Yes.
some of them do a really good job with tracking your songs. I like a lot of stuff like if Latin, I tend to like BMI. I see a lot of activity and them really promoting their Latin artists, the BMI. It's my personal opinion. But ASCAP does a lot of songwriting event. They've got their trade show, so as a general answer, I can't answer it. As specific to your genre and your music, there might be a better answer as to which one is the best for you.
Larry had a question, then Dave, I think.
Yeah, could you please give us the email address once again to which you allow us to send links to our tunes?
Music, MUSIC, biz, BIZ, gal, GAL, at yahoo.com.
Thanks very much.
It's in the chat.
Absolutely welcome. You're welcome.
All right, great. And thanks very much.
Michael, you had a question? And then Dave. What's up, Michael?
Yes, I was wondering if you have any like progressive metal, Christian progressive metal, or Christian symphonic metal.
Well, Christian is a lot more lenient because they're all about the message delivery. And now that they're getting into films, it's more likely to get placed than previous years. Have I personally gotten one? I've had a couple crests for like Jars of Clay, which is kind of rock, depending on which song you're listening to on the album. So it does happen. And then I've had some A&R people just have me recommend some bands that they could pre-screen for their label. But again, I wouldn't send them a demo because they're a record label. And what are record labels doing now? Are they sending you into a studio, paying for it, and putting you out there? Heck no. They have A&R people who want to grab the people that just finished their record and have social media. So you've basically done all the work, and now they're ready to sign you.
That's right.
It's a whole nother story. Dave, you had a
Yeah, as long as we're going that direction. Nancy brought it up, and then it went to Christian metal, and then we were talking about PROs. I'm in the middle of doing a co-write on a worship song. What about worship songs, and how does CCLI work? As compared to registering with ASCAP and stuff like that. So I thought I would pick your brain on that.
Well, there's a difference because, ASCAP and BMI are still your bank
Okay.
and CSANC. The other one is it's a little different type of payout system. And I don't do a lot with them, so I'm not really equipped to answer that. Um, and then also, everything's changing right now. Some people are using AI, some are not. So I subscribe to like four different lawyers and I read their feeds every day. And when they're all on the same page saying the same thing about the same type of service or listings, then I tend to kind of believe it. CCLI sucks. Yeah. And you know what, Jimmy, why don't you answer that? Because you're in the Christian music world. What don't you like about them?
Unfortunately, CCLI seems to be doing the same thing that Spotify is doing, where if you're not doing a lot of business, then you basically don't exist. And
The whole I'm going to ignore you because I don't like your algorithm.
it's really bad. I've got stuff that's used in churches all over the world, and I have yet to get paid for any of it. And I have all the records. I've sent them all the information, and they say, "Well, yeah, but you haven't done some nonsense, some crazy number," and they just keep having me
raising
jump
the
through,
bar. They're raising
the bar and jumping through hoops that don't exist, and
you don't
basically
have to do that with ASCAP or BMI.
yeah, and unfortunately, it's not really racist, but definitely there's a thing about if you're not in a specific market, then you're basically screwed. Because they have Latin Christian music, they've got white Christian music, got black Christian music, but if you got an
It's
Asian
tier
name,
leveled.
it's
you
really
want to
bad.
stay out of tier. You want to stay out of tier situations. You basically, if your
Exactly.
song gets out there, you want to get paid. End
Yeah.
of story.
Okay, so to finish that up, thanks, Jamie. It's a good point. So if you're writing a worship song, go with ASCAP on that. And then, Joanne, do you make any, distinction between here's a Christian song versus here's a worship song that you're intending for people to sing in a church?
A good song is a good song. I mean, there have been Christian songs that have been #1 pop hits.
Okay.
What was that one in the 70s or 80s? That
You light up my life.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. So that's my example for that one. Good song's a good song.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Anybody else? We're good? All right. Thank you guys again for showing up, for staying late. Are we good? Did we go to 10 or 9? I think 9. We're good, right?
Yeah.
9:15.
We're at 9:15 right now, and usually we try to end about 9:30, so that's perfect. And
No more questions.
Okay.
Good
Thank you,
insight.
Joanne.
Good to see
I
you,
wish I
Jazz.
knew enough to ask questions. Yeah, good seeing you, Joanne. I wish I knew enough to ask better questions.
I'm coming up to Sonoma for a festival. How far are
Uh-huh.
you? Are you far?
Well,
I'd love to
I'm
see
up
you.
near the Oregon border up in Eureka.
Ah, okay. Oh, I like
Yeah.
that area. Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
next tour. Okay.
Yeah.
We got to get together.
Yeah. Take care.
By the way, Bernie's coming this weekend, and Skid's going to come over, and we're all going to hang out on
Oh
Saturday.
man. Oh man. Would love to be there.
This man gave me away at my wedding.
Oh, very cool.
Sort of. It was a quick, fast wedding. There's a whole nother story, but anyways, was in the Air Force with my husband, ex-husband.
Yeah.
My son's dad was in the Air Force with this young man.
Your baby daddy.
My baby daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were all friends.
Yeah. So, yeah. Can you believe I'm doing music business now after all of that, all those years? This is where I fell out.
I know.
When I was in college, I studied geology and I got my degree in geology with a minor in music. Worked for USGS until I decided to start working in music. So rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing this for over 20 years, so
yeah, more like 35, but what's a few years?
Well, Joanne, I used to work on plate tectonic spreading on a ship because I had
really?
an oceanography degree. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's scary. Now, I don't want to study plate tectonics because they keep telling me that I'll be underwater soon. So
as long as it's not financial, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I taught science in high school, but I was faking it.
So I'm really good at history of rock and roll, but in college I taught history of jazz, and I totally faked it until some students whose parents and grandparents were musical purists, and I got caught, trying to sort of fake answers I didn't quite really know. So I'll never.
The imposter syndrome.
Yeah. All right, my friends.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have our in-person showcase again in Pasadena on the 18th. If you want to email again, songnetshowcase@gmail.com to reserve a spot or just show up. You know, we had a lot of people last time, so it would be a good idea to reserve a spot this time. And the weather's being really good now, so you know it's a beautiful place at the Urban Homestead, and hopefully we'll see you guys there. And then our next guest speaker, I've got a couple different people that will be lined up. One of them is a well-known producer and engineer that I know. He was here before, Yuri Gelman, and yeah, he's got the best collection of vintage mics in the world, and he was very popular last time he was here. So I think that'll be really good. So either him or another person who is actually kind of an A&R legend back in the day when she was doing a lot of that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what's going on soon. Hopefully we'll see you guys next time. And remember to live in the moment because the journey is often the destination. See you next time.
Bye, you guys.
Take care.
Have a good night.
How often do you do this? How often do you do this?
Monthly?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
Okay.
always here the first Wednesday of every month with a
First
guest
Wednesday
speaker
of
from
every-
the industry. Yeah. So first
Okay.
Wednesday every month here, and then third Wednesdays is our showcase. And every now and then there's other stuff that comes up too, you know. So you just keep watching our songnet.org page. You know, just go to www.songnet.org, and there's always stuff on there, information and things. You know, I actually started a thing at Kulak's Woodshed down here called Two for Nights, kind of for our people, and oddly enough, none of them were using that.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
but if anybody's in the Bay Area on the 29th of this month, I'm hosting a songwriter night in Berkeley at a place called the Art House on the 29th. Come on and do a couple tunes, you know.
Yeah, there's a
Awesome.
good scene up there. I heard there's a thing called Balanced Breakfast up there too. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
I'm
yeah,
not familiar with it, no.
Hey,
Balanced
Jimmy.
Breakfast up there too. So
Jimmy, sorry to interrupt, but it's songnet.info now.
yeah, songnet.info.
Yeah, it's switched. I keep saying .org, but it's .info.
It was
Yeah.
thesongnet.org, and for some reason that got hacked or screwed up. So now we're at songnet.info.
Got it. Okay, so I'm not cuckoo. All right.
It has a good ring to it, I just gotta say.
And if
Good night.
anybody's up in Humboldt over the weekend, I'll be doing mushrooms, so come and join me.
There's a psychedelic. Look, I kid you not, though. This guy's got instruments and gear and acoustic and equipment and a recording studio. So, you know,
Got my
you can-
12 string. I'm
Yeah.
doing a 60s project, Mersey beat sounding songs that are
and you've
crazy
done
and wrong.
commercials too, right? If I got you right, you've done
Jingle.
commercials.
I've done
Yeah,
some
jingles.
jingles.
And but so these are the kind of people you want to meet in these organizations because maybe you have a song and then you send them the music and they write it and then you go to your studio or your home studio, you record your vocal. You don't have to be present, is what I'm saying in 2025. If you find
Or
a
vice
studio,
versa. You have
Yeah.
your song and I can record it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't have
I
to.
have a
you don't have to
studio
do-
in San Leandro. If you guys want to come over, this is
Yeah.
my studio right here. But
Yeah.
I'm a lousy engineer, so
But you make your own instruments too, and I'm a little bit jealous of that. So
well, come on.
and
Maybe
he's a luthier as well. All right, you
Oh, hey,
guys.
there you go. All right.
Okay. Thanks a
Good
lot,
night.
Joanne.
Good to see you,
All
Chad.
right, you
Dave,
guys.
Good to see you.
Good night.
Ed, I
Thanks
didn't hear
again.
your
All right,
song.
everybody. Be
Tomas,
blessed.
Bye-bye.
Nancy,
Thank you,
Sin.
Joanne.
Bye, you guys.
Thank
You're
you,
absolutely
Joanne.
welcome. All right.
Thanks,
Bye
Joanne.
bye. My pleasure.
Bless.